You know, everybody who's been playing this game long enough, they've got stories about paintball that really has nothing to do with the game. And this is one of those stories. Many years ago, I was playing some outlaw ball in Rochester, Minnesota. Rochester, Minnesota is rather famous for a couple of things, but the big thing, and this is kind of the important one, is the Mayo Clinic. Really good hospital up there. Some of you guys might have heard of it. But we're playing outlaw right near the airport out there, and you know, the game itself really wasn't that spectacular for me. You know, I just wasn't really into the game at that time. You know, I was just playing socially. I was going to college at the same time. I was trying to shoot this paint that was absolutely sucky. ICS made some good vests, but their paint, not so good. After the game's over, we're all walking off the field, and I stepped over a tree branch. And it was a really thick tree branch, so I figured, okay, I'll just walk right over it and put my foot down on it, and I didn't realize it had a whole lot of dry rot on it. Now, dry rot, it's kind of a funny thing, but basically it makes a whole tree basically like cardboard. And my foot pretty much went right straight through it. Now, I don't know what exactly I cut myself on, but I felt something pierce my skin on my foot, and that was, okay, this is bad. So I quickly made my way up to the front and immediately sit back on the guy's car, take off my tabby boot, and yeah, I was wearing ninja shoes at the time, and take one quick look at that and immediately throw up due to shock. And immediately upon throwing up, what's the first thing I grabbed for? Yeah, and everybody's saying, no, don't drink that, it's not good. And I'm thinking, guys, let me drink this, I'll feel better. So to condense what happened, the guy who organized the game said, look, I'll take you to the hospital, not a problem. So he drives my car to the hospital, all my gear is still left at the field, but I figure I'll come back for it, not a problem. Now this is where things start getting kind of interesting for me, because I hobble into the hospital. I'm wearing all black, not camouflage today, I was wearing all black. Come to think of it, I think I was wearing a whole ninja uniform too, but yeah, and I'm paint splattered, I'm covered in mud, and I've got this big bandage around my right ankle, all the way down to the bottom of my foot. And I'm hobbling into the hospital. I get to the admissions desk and I say, hi, I cut my foot open and it's bleeding kind of bad. Is there any way I can see a doctor about this? And bing, zoom, I'm in. It's not even 3 minutes from the time I walk into the hospital. I'm on a gurney, I'm inside of one of the emergency rooms, and I got my foot propped up and my foot is soaking in this big thing of solution. 3 minutes. So lesson number one of this war story, the calmer you are, the worse they think the situation is. Well, eventually I get to see a doctor about it. They kind of look in there, they determine that there's probably nothing in there, but they still want to take some x-rays because, you know, this is a pretty big cut on the bottom of my foot. So they want to get a better look. They want to make sure there's nothing still in there. So they wheel me around to go give me x-rays. And this is really the part of the story that sticks with me, because they wheel me into the x-rays and I'm just kind of sitting there waiting my turn. You know, it's a hospital on a weekend. Yeah, there's a lot of people there, and you know all this stuff. And as I'm laying there, next to me in the next gurney over is this young girl, probably a high school kid, and she's wearing a softball uniform, she's got her leg up, and she's got this big thing on her knee. And next to her is somebody who I'm guessing is her mom. I don't think anybody else would have given her the amount of crap that this woman was giving her. From what I could gather, all of this had to do with the fact that she did something on the field of play and she slid or something like that and she injured herself, and mom's just reading her the riot act about how she should not have done that, how she had so many responsibilities, this, that, and the other thing. And I'm laying there listening to this woman just ramble on and on and on, and finally I determined that I've had enough. So I kind of lean out the gurney and say, excuse me, I got a question. And the woman, she snaps me, what do you want? No, not for you. For her. And the gal in the softball uniform kind of leans over, looks over to me like, what? Did you score the point? And she nodded that yes, indeed, that she had scored the point. So what's the problem? And with that, I just casually crossed my arms and ignored the world. Mom over here, she gives me this absolute, death stare. I mean, if fire could have come out of her eye sockets, they would have. And there was just this look of... And that's just something that you have to play sports to kind of understand, that, yeah, you're willing to sacrifice your body in order to get the point, because that's the whole meaning of the game. You do what you gotta do. The upshot of the story is that they did x-rays, they didn't find anything in there, so they decided to sew it up. So I had 4 stitches in the bottom of my heel with minimal anesthetic, and that hurt like an SOB, let me tell you. So eventually I hobble back into the field, and when I get there, I got this huge bandage on my foot, I'm not even wearing my shoe, and I walk in, and they say, okay guys, come on, one more game, let's go! And they actually thought I was serious. I said, no, I can't, I'm done for a couple months. And yeah, a couple months it kind of sucked, but hey, you know, that's paintball for you.